Hello everybody, my name is Eric, and if all has gone to plan, by the time you're watching this video, I am presently at the convention that we are talking about. Now, of course, I can't say how it's going because this is a scheduled video that's been recorded ahead of time, but I just thought I would talk about this controversy, and I'll post another video after the event where I can talk about what I thought about it and how it went. This is the first time I've ever gone, and really, first time I've ever gone to any sort of big event. I've been to a couple of Google's product expert summits, but those are very much private events for less than 100 people. This is a very different. So let's just look into the first controversy. Hotel to search rooms during DEF CON hacking conference. Now, let's get into some nomenclature, because the word hacking is arguably the most weird word in the English language, because computer hacking to a lot of people who are not at all into it is the term for cybercrime. In reality, the term hacking as it relates to computers has existed longer than access controls for computers have, and it mostly comes from, it was a term that sort of represented creativity and ingenuity. It was the people who in many ways built the modern tech ecosystem. At some point in the 1990s, as the internet became a thing, and therefore hacking as we currently know it became more of an issue, the term hacker gained its more commonly used meaning, while the original hacker community generally tried to refer to such people as crackers. The only problem with that is that word has another meaning, so that didn't really work. So that's kind of how it's gone. Some people, including VX Underground, like to use the term threat actor, which I also agree is the better term for cybercriminals, but as a result, the term hacker is confusing, and if you do go on the DEF CON website, it is the DEF CON hacking conference. And while there are plenty of people there, all for different reasons, you might think, if you didn't know anything about it, you might think, oh wow, this is where the worst cyber criminals who have ever lived go. So this hotel has taken matters into their own hands. Okay, this is Paywall or Orthwold, so we're just going to read the first bit. Resorts World Las Vegas, which is a hotel when I was looking for a hotel I considered going to. They're actually hosting attendees of the hacking conference, will perform daily inspections of rooms, including those displaying a privacy sign, according to a letter from the hotel given to guests. Now, we can just see the picture. Dear valued guest, welcome and thank you for choosing Resorts World Las Vegas. We are pleased that you have joined us, and as you have chosen to stay with us for relaxation, fun, and excitement. As you may or may not know. Now, this is kind of the problem, is this makes this sound like this is a notorious criminal operation that only horrible people go to. A well-known hacking convention will be held in Las Vegas during your stay. We remain committed to our guests' safety and understand the utmost importance of cybersecurity as well. Yes, which is why you are absolutely terrified of a cybersecurity convention. And if you really think these people are so scary, a lot of people actually go to the trifecta, including Black Hat. So I don't know. I mean, they're probably already in there doing their master hackermanz things. If you have any questions or concerns during your visit, please contact the hotel operator by pressing 0 on your guest room phone. Now, I think it's terrible for a lot of reasons, and it's probably not good for business, because someone who isn't there for DEF CON is probably going to look at that and think, okay, there's notorious hackers in town, maybe I should get out. That's what it sounds like. Now, here's someone who is currently at Black Hat and has been subject to this audit, discovered that luckily it doesn't seem like they're doing anything totally insane, which makes it even weirder. For reference, this is the tech situation in my room right now that seemed in order for them. So the good news is, he's got quite a bit of, like, more stuff than I have that I would be taking, and they looked at it and nothing happened. So it doesn't seem like they're doing any sort of arbitrary detention. I'd just be worried a bit about going through expensive gear and potentially stealing it. Oddly enough, she's still outside the room, and then if we go through the replies, yeah, I haven't done anything, and they're making me feel like a crook. And of course, this guy is, you know, you would just have to type the guy's name into Google, and you can see, okay, this is not a cyber criminal. This guy has a very clearly known presence. He is a legitimate researcher who is respected, and then this wouldn't happen. Some people are saying, this is my assumption, is they have some bizarre movie understanding of hacking where they think he's going to pull out some sort of gadget. Now, it seems like they're just worried these people are checking for, it doesn't make sense. They say we're just checking that you're not hacking us, which would just imply some sort of bizarre understanding of computer hacking. I wonder what she'll say about a Wi-Fi cactus, which is some sort of Wi-Fi penetration testing device that they might actually be kind of scared of. Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, how would you tell a hacker from a freelancer? If you think you can tell by looking at their setup, you are horribly misinformed about hacking. Now, evidently, luckily, they've probably seen a lot of freelancers, so they probably know what a normal setup looks like. What they probably aren't thinking about is that is the same setup that a real hacker in such a situation would probably be using, not anything crazy. It reminds me of this funny article. I assume a lot of people have seen this, but okay, I'm going to try and zoom in so that this gets formatted in a way that doesn't look absolutely terrible. Now, what is funny is this is, on some level, especially if you've seen Script Kids lately, a real issue. I mean, there are people who are committing cybercrime for Robux, but this article is intended to be funny. As an enlightened modern parent, I try to be as involved as possible in the lives of my 6 children. I encourage them to join team sports. I attend their teen parties with them to ensure no drinking or alcohol is on the premises. I keep a fatherly eye on the CDs they listen to and the shows they watch, the company they keep, and the books they read. You could say I'm a model parent. I might say you're a bit of a helicopter parent. My children have never failed to make me proud, and I can say without the slightest embellishment that I have the finest family in the USA. 2 years ago, my wife Carol and I decided that our children's education would not be complete without some grounding in modern computer. To this end, we brought our children a brand new Compaq to learn with. The kids had a lot of fun using the handful of applications we'd bought, like Adobe's Photoshop, Microsoft's Word, and my wife and I were pleased that our gift was received so well. Our son Peter was most entranced by the device and became quite pro at surfing the net. When Peter began to spend whole days on the machine, I became concerned, but Carol advised me to calm down, and that was only a passing phase. I was content to bow to her experience as mother until our youngest daughter, Cindy, charged into the living room to blurt out, "Peter is a computer hacker." Now, why is Peter a computer hacker? Oh, so this little sister who is known to tell stories. So after a few days of investigation, I discovered and confronted Peter with the evidence. I'm afraid to say this was the only time I have ever been truly disappointed in one of my children. We raised them to be honest and to have integrity, and Peter betrayed the principles we tried to encourage in him. When he refused point blank to admit to his activities, his denials continued for hours, and in the end I was left with no choice but to ban him from using the computer until he's old enough to be responsible for his actions. After going through all of this, I was left wondering how I could help people. I gained a lot of knowledge over those few days regarding hackers. Okay, it's only right that I provide that information to other parents. Okay, so what are the red flags for computer hacking? Now keep in mind this article is as old as I am, so not everything here is current. Most American families use trusted and responsible internet providers such as America Online Life. They have a strict no hacking policy and take careful measures to ensure that your internet experience is enjoyable, educational, above all, legal. What's funny is everything in this article, and that's of course the joke, is things that people who use computers for any reason would want. I would advise all parents to refuse this request. One of your reasons your son is interested in switching providers to get away from AOL's child safety filter. The filter is vital to any parent who wants his son to enjoy the internet without endangering himself through exposure to adult content. It's best to stick with the protection AOL provides rather than a home-based solution. I don't know if AOL has such features or not. If your son is becoming a hacker, he will be able to circumvent any home-based measures with surprising ease, using information gleaned from various hacker sites. But what your aspiring hacker would not be able to do is figure out how to disable AOL's filters. That would be too much. Hacker software includes Comet Cursor, Bonzi Buddy, and Flash. The best option is to confront your son with the evidence and force him to remove the offending programs. He'll probably try to install it again, but you'll be able to tell if it's happening. If your machine offers to download one of the hacker applications. I mean, if it's Flash, that's even worse, because these are adware applications. So you're probably seeing an ad for it. Has your child asked for new hardware? Hackers are limited by conventional computer hardware. This is the funniest line because it's like the opposite of true. I mean, you can request faster video cards and larger hard drives or more memory. It's possibly a legitimate need. Make sure you're buying legal, trustworthy hardware by only buying replacement parts from your computer's manufacturer. Well, technically, it is possible. If you buy an engineering sample, you can technically buy a CPU that you're not legally allowed to own, but otherwise there's not a lot of illegal hardware. If your son has requested a new processor from a company called AMD, this is genuine cause for alarm. AMD is a third world-based company who make inferior knockoffs of American processor chips. This is funny because 20 years later, I mean, Intel's like falling apart and AMD are doing well. AMD are never sold in stores. You never buy an AMD in a store. You have to order them from sketchy internet sites. The one request. I'm pretty sure AMD was better than Intel when this article was written, like it is today. Today's younger viewers probably don't know there was a period between this article and now where AMD CPUs were terrible. Does your child read hacking manuals? Now, let's see what a hacking manual is. It's things like Snow Crash Cryptonomicon by Neil Stevenson, Neuromancer by William Gibson, Programming with Perl, which is about the Perl language. Geeks, The Hacker Crackdown by Bruce Sterling. I'm just going to Google this one because this is the only book that sounds like it could actually be about criminal hacking. No. It's not about criminal hacking. It's about the other definition of hacker. Microsurfs, which is an anti-Microsoft book. Hackers by Stephen Levy. And The Cathedral and the Bazaar. These are all genuinely hacking books, just not the kind you might think. And this is the funniest one, because Quake is a video game. Online virtual reality used by hackers. Your son becoming argumentative and surly in his social behavior. Is your son obsessed with Linux? Oh no. Oh no, if he's involved with Linux, that means he's probably, yeah, he's getting stuff from Linus Torvalds. Based on a version called Xenix. That's even funnier. By Microsoft for the US government. These programs are used by hackers to break into other people's computer systems to steal credit card numbers. So we can steal their music using the MP3 program. Torvalds is notorious, responsible for writing many hacker programs like Telnet. Yeah, well, Telnet. Your son may try to install Linux on your hard drive. If he is careful, you may not notice its presence. However, Linux is a capricious beast, and if handled incorrectly, it may damage your computer. It's not terrible advice for 2001. I mean, Linux in 2001 was a very different era. You see the word Lilo? Your son has installed Linux. To get rid of it, you'll have to send your computer back to the manufacturer and have them fit a new hard drive. There's also Hacker Typer. This is a site where you type nonsense and it gives hacking outputs. This is like how people imagine. This is actually just C code. It's not particularly complicated C code. It doesn't look like it's right. You can. Oh, okay. So, someone is getting pwned. Now this one is just amazing. This one, if you ever saw my video about Instagram hackers, this is what an Instagram hacker will use to show how if they say, oh, we can get your money back or whatever from a scammer. If you see someone who markets themselves as a hacker and they have this kind of a setup, it's not a hacker, it's an epic scam. Let's see what we got. We got Bitcoin mining, we got headquarters surveillance. That one even got to do with Shredan. Nuclear plant. Let's see what we're hacking into today, boys. Remote connection. Mission granted. Ooh. Oh, access denied. Go sent off to a text editor. Password cracker. Establishing a satellite connection. Now we're watching. Now we've hacked into the The headquarters. This one actually does different things depending on what keys you're pushing. We have hacker tools like a compiler. If you're it's compiling data structures. It must be used for some real hacker hours right here. Like, this looks like one of the promotions on the IDA website. Typer has a realistic looking one with Visual Studio. He-Man. Halo. How is there no Serial Experiments Lane one? That's what I want to know. That's what a real hacker would be doing. Or anything anime related. Come on, if you're a real hacker, that's what you're into. Let's be real. Okay, we got Intel architecture names going. We're into a satellite now. Well, I think that's probably enough of the pranking. So that's going to be all for now. I'm obviously not going to do this in the hotel in the interest of not getting caught. I'm not going to say what hotel I am in, but I am at the convention. If anyone wants to see me there, you can do that, but not anywhere else. That is going to be all for now. Bye.